Hey everyone, it's Ashley from The Resilient Kid. Hair's just going a bit wild. So, posted earlier in the week, asked about what the biggest struggles are, what causes us the most stress, and I've got a big long list. Made a big list of everybody's names, who said what to me. So I'm going to start off with getting out in the morning, because that seems to have, the most names against it. Joe Trickett, David, Kristen, I think there was a couple of others who said it. And do you know what? It is one of our most stressful times. So there's a few things that you can do, real easy, put in to make it automatic, right? So before I start giving you the tips, what I want you to think about is the majority of the time, like 99%, if we're stressed, they're stressed. So if we can make our morning easier, we will make their morning easier. There is a quantum physics theory about entanglement, that our mood affects their mood. I won't go into it here, but suffice to say, it's bob on. So, most important thing, first of all, is make sure that your wellness cup is full, right? So, how I do this, because we all have those stressful mornings where you're pulling your hair out, they can't find a shoe, they forgot the snack, they've not got the, they're asking for cooking ingredients like 5 minutes before they've got to leave the door, and you're like, no chance. So think about how you can make your morning easier. For me, I get up before the kids. I will get up early, not mega early. Sometimes if I've got meetings or I've got a lot on, then I will get up a lot earlier than the kids. But I get up early, so I'm done kind of before they are. So, or I've only got like to quickly get dressed. So maybe I've had my shower already. I've had my, maybe I've even had my breakfast or whatever. But for me, it's important. So I kind of wake the kids around 7. I have a thing where they have to be down for 8 o'clock. Now, mine are both in high school, one just barely in high school, both very different kids. I will talk to you about orchids and dandelion kids and how they're very different, and I have literally got one of each on another video. However, so I say 8 o'clock. Now, one of them will get up really early, but then they'll faff around and they'll come down the stairs and they've still not got the blazer on. They've still not got the shoes on. The teeth are not brushed. They've not even had a wash, So I've got one like that. The other one who will be straightening her hair for like 25 minutes. You know the deal. So have a think about kind of giving them a set time. Okay, now I'm going to go through these and I'm going to kind of give you, if you've got younger ones or if you've got older ones as well. So tips for both. All right, so listen up. Sleep. I cannot emphasize it enough. If they're not getting enough sleep, you are going to wake up with a crabby child. There is no doubt. Doesn't matter their age. I'm the same. We're all the same. So make sure they're getting enough sleep. All right. It is fine if grandma or nana is coming round and they have a late night, but they can't have that consistently because it impacts on their mental and physical well-being. I know, for instance, my youngest, if he has more than, if he's got too late a night at weekend, 2 nights on the trot, he's got a cold sore, he's got a cold, game over for me for a few days. So sleep, absolutely most important thing. I do things probably a little bit different than most. I get my kids to make sure that they're dressed and teeth brushed, and I don't care if they're going to have the breakfast. But if they have to come down to have the breakfast and then go back up to get their teeth brushed, or they come down, have breakfast and go back up to get uniform, I've got no chance. So what I do is pretty much they are completely dressed, washed, brushed teeth, or shower, depending on whether they've had a shower the night before or whatever. And that way, it's giving them the motivation because they're hungry. They want to come down to eat, all right? I don't put the TV on. Now, I know that's controversial, but I don't, because it's a distraction and I can't afford it. I just can't afford it. So I've never really had the TV on in the morning. Weekends, of course, no problem. But during the week when it's school, no. I have the radio on. That's really good for kind of distracting them as well if they're in a bit of a mood when they first get up. You know, a song comes on the radio, everyone starts singing, so that just helps, just to have a little background noise in that way, but not TV, because you know, the minute that screen's on, we all want to look at it. Of course you're not going to want to get dressed, you know, you're not going to want to put your shoes on. So that's just me. I'm not saying you ban TV in your house in the morning, but you will absolutely see a difference if you do it and they do get distracted. If you are thinking of it, time limit it. I would say, you know, if you are having the TV, you get dressed first, you get 20 minutes TV before then you're leaving for school and stuff. So I would give yourself that time. Another one, that time for you in the morning, getting up before the kids, try and do things that are easier for you. So for me, what I do is I know what I'm going to put on the next day. I wish I was brave enough to do Steve Jobs, where I just have black t-shirt, black jeans, but I can't, because I have to work and I have to go out to different people. So, and I'll just look at idiot. I nearly said something else, an idiot with the same things on every day. But it is about automating some of those choices, because automating our choices helps with our own managing our own stress and our own well-being. So if you've already got that sorted for the next day, that's less stress, because there's nothing worse than standing in front of your wardrobe going, what should I put on, what should I put on, then trying something on, maybe it doesn't fit, it's too small, too big, whatever. Don't add that kind of stress into your life. So make sure you know what you're putting on. Those kind of decisions are ones that really help minimize stress in the morning. So if you're already sorted, then you can concentrate on the kids. All right. That said, get the kids organised the night before. That's not you sorting out PE kits and stuff, unless they're really teeny tiny. But in honesty, what I do is I have a drawer where their various kits go into. So PE kits go in this drawer, you know, dance kit, rugby kit, whatever it is. And I'll say, is your kit ready for tomorrow? So they have a physical timetable either up on their wall, also have it on the phones, obviously, now they're both high school, but it's really important. If you're young, if you've got youngsters and they have dancing after school, or they have football after school, or swimming, or whatever, give them a visual timetable. You know, either put a picture of them swimming, or, you know, swimming pool picture, cut it out, stick it on, get them to do it. You know, don't you do it, get them to do it one weekend. Do a visual timetable if they're younger. If they're learning to read, have a little drawing with the word as well, because that really helps. But have that timetable so you can say to them on a Tuesday night, say for instance, right, let's get your kit ready for tomorrow. What is it you've got tomorrow? Have you got PE at school? Have you got swimming after school? Those kind of things, so that they get into that routine. And it really, really helps when they get to high school. I can't tell you how much it helps. So get them to get themselves organised, get them to go to the drawer. Where's your, right, okay, get a towel, get this, whatever. You know, if it's the older ones, is your football kit ready? Where's your football boots? Have you got everything? All that kind of stuff. So do that. And I kind of call it my exit strategy. So by the front door, there is a place where the bags go for the next day. So that includes if all the homework's done, their school bag is in there. You know, you can get them to put water bottle and snack in there ready for the next day. Mine always want cold out of the fridge, so they usually get that first thing in the morning, but it is something that's into their routine, so they know to get that in the morning before they leave. Most of you know we're building our own house. We've actually building in kind of, you know, like American lockers. So we've all got, so like the bags go on a hook, the coat goes on a hook. So that's literally next to the front door for this very reason. And also it saves, like, as you come in, that explosion of coats and bags and shoes and all that malarkey. I'm not suggesting you build your own though. So yeah, so that's a really important thing. So get ready the night before. Now, the morning. So one of the tips is get them to get dressed before they come downstairs for breakfast. I would say 2 to 3 times a week, we would have a cooked breakfast, and that's not full English or anything. That is literally beans on toast or poached egg on toast or something like that. If they're really lucky, they get a bacon butty. But rare, that's usually weekends. But I do that more because as much as we still have cereal in the house, if you have sugary cereal, what happens is their insulin rises and then crashes, and you get that moody, stroppy, angry, and it's not fun to work with. So I'll have quite plain cereals. I know, really boring, they hate it. If I get a box of Cheerios, oh my God, my kids are like beside themselves with happiness. But that would be a rarity. So, you know, anything shredded wheat, cornflakes, quite plain, no sugar, fruit. Always try and get them to have some fruit either on the way to school or just after breakfast and things. And that is about feeding the nutrition, feeding those that sympathetic nervous system as well, that causes us to jump into that, you know, moodiness, stressed kind of feeling. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do that. I do it because because we have a busy week. It's nice for us to have that. Now, I don't often sit down and have breakfast with them, but I'm in the kitchen and ours is open plan, so they're sat having breakfast. Often hubby's there as well, having breakfast, and then we will chat while I'm like cleaning up or whatever. Porridge, awesome. Porridge, always a good one. But you know, I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying, but if you can sit at the table and have that conversation about, oh, what have you got today, or what you're looking forward to, who you're looking forward to seeing, you know, those kind of things with the younger ones is really good. And you're just hearing them, you're just acknowledging them before they leave for the day, which makes it easier for them to go to school, because you've topped up their like emotional bank account a little bit before they've headed off for the day. So don't underestimate breakfast. You know, I have a friend whose kid doesn't eat breakfast, and it takes her until after break time to come round. And it's a shame, because actually if she ate breakfast, she'd be easier, and it is easier for us to learn. So don't underestimate the power of, you know, if you can sit down. I'm not saying you should sit down. We've all got our own, you know, we've all got our own crap to deal with. So, you know, if you can, awesome. If you can't, don't feel guilty about it. It's what it is. You know, we've all got to deal with the cards that are dealt. You know, I'm lucky enough that I don't start work until the kids have left. So the only work I do is earlier than they get up, or after but that I'm lucky to be able to do that, and I'm grateful that I can. So I do know that that's a luck thing. That sitting round though, or that talking to them at breakfast, validates their feelings and makes it easier for them to leave home, was what I wanted to say to you. And if you've got younger ones, bear in mind that if they're getting dressed, then be nearby. And they might be absolutely physically able to dress themselves. That might not be an issue at all. But emotionally, and this is why we get, I've not got my shoes on, I can't do this, I need your help, blah, 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 is because often we're either downstairs or we're in another room. And actually, emotionally, sometimes it's too much to process. I know when my younger one was a lot younger, well, not even a lot younger actually, he's 11 now, but I would say even up to a couple of years ago, 8, 9, he was still like, oh, you've given me too much, I can't manage it. And emotionally, they can't process the, you know, underwear, shirt, jumpers, socks, pants, you know, shoes. It's just too much sometimes to process. And actually, you're just around and about. You don't have to be stood next to them. You don't have to be dressing them, and don't get tempted to dress them. It's really hard some mornings when you're in a rush. And if you've all got up late, absolutely do it. But if you can, the majority of the time, try and help them to help themselves. So, okay, what's next? Socks. Okay, what's after that? Shoes. Right, are we putting our shoes? Right, okay, come on, let's go and brush our teeth, blah, blah, blah. I get some people want them to brush their teeth after breakfast. For me, that never works. I would rather them have a good brush without rushing and then have the breakfast. You know, they're not having anything acidic, or, you know, they're not having chocolate for the breakfast, so they're fine. Go on off to school. I'm fine with that. So think about that. So just as a recap, sleep, make sure they're getting their allotted amount of sleep. We should be looking at 10 hours plus for the majority of our kids in this group. Breakfast, think about what you're eating, but more importantly, and it is more importantly, have that little connection with them. 5-10 minutes, doesn't matter, in the morning. Who are you looking forward to seeing today? What are you looking forward to? Tell me what you're expecting today, that kind of thing. Prepare, get organised the night before, yourself and the kids. Always try and get up a little bit, even if it's only 5 minutes, so you can have a cup of tea or coffee in peace before the kids come down. You'll feel better, you won't be as stressed. Do your exit strategy. So the night before, bags are ready, whatever you need is there. Double check with the kids. Always double check. You haven't got this tomorrow, have you? You've not got cooking, there's no surprises, you don't need a PE kit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, get them. And get them used to being responsible for that. So your exit strategy. Remember, we all want to be validated. We all want that connection before we leave for school, and that makes it easier to leave. If we've topped up their emotional tank, that makes it easier for them to leave for school. All right. If you have any issues with separation anxiety at school with your kids, drop me a message under here. I'll do a separate video. All right. Take care, everyone. Hope that was helpful. Need any more? Drop the comments. All right. Lots of love. Bye bye.